invite you to think back where you were exactly 1 week ago tonight, Friday night. For me, it was a peaceful Friday night. And while there was no obligation to eat the final festive meal in the sukkah because it was Shmini Atzeret, the 8th day of assembly, I nevertheless went into my sukkah alone to enjoy one final quiet l'chaim. It was a cool, clear, calm night. And the inspiration from all the meaningful Jewish holidays that we had celebrated in the weeks prior were still uplifting my soul. Joyfully looking forward to celebrating Simchat Torah the following Saturday night. I am forcing myself to remember that night now for 2 reasons. The first is that although it was only 1 week ago, it feels so far away that I have completely forgotten that world. I don't recognize that world. It was stolen away. And the other reason I'm remembering it is because last Friday night was also the last peaceful night for so many innocent souls in Israel. The last time mothers kissed their babies before putting them to bed. Last time a child said Laila Tov to her father. The last time young adults danced together in the prime of their youth. The last time families embraced each other, enjoyed Shabbat dinner together, or said, I love you to each other. Last Friday night was the last Shabbat before the worst horror most of us have ever known. And for Jews all around the world, and for Israelis in particular, nothing will ever be the same again. What Israel and the Jewish people experienced last night on Shmini Atzeret Simchat Torah, last Shabbat on Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah, was nothing short of a living nightmare. And we have all read the news, seen the videos, watched the incessant television broadcasts, received countless emails and texts and WhatsApp messages and social media updates. Some of us have blood mishpacha in Israel who are suffering, who were killed, who were abducted, who are missing. But for all of us, Israel is mishpacha. Israel is family. It's the homeland of the Jewish people, and our destiny as Jews is forever bound up with it and with one another. One of my teachers from the Shalom Hartman Institute in Israel shared this past week, we are all feeling, here and in Israel, a cocktail of emotions. Shock, grief, sadness, rage, solidarity, inspiration, admiration, and pride. We feel these emotions not only in our hearts and in our souls, we feel them in our very bodies. It's overwhelming, beyond anything we could ever have imagined. And we Jews don't have to imagine much, because for millennia we have been attacked in myriad ways because of who we are. There have been moments this week that have felt like we are sitting in a worldwide shiva. I don't want to smile. I don't want to say good morning or good night, because nothing is good. We are not okay. What happened last week was not okay by any standard, by any measure. It was inhumane, it was outrageous, it was macabre, it was pure evil. And it's not about politics or a territorial dispute. It was reminiscent of what we heard in plain English 5 years ago this month in Pittsburgh. It's okay. We're happy that you're here. Actually, you might want to step out for this line. When that murderer shouted, as we all know, all Jews must die. That's what it felt like for us. There is no place in the civilized world for anti-Semitism, and there is no place in the civilized world for the denial of one people on this earth, the Jewish people, to have a home, one home that happens to be our ancient ancestral home in which we are sovereign. A home in which we strive to promote the values of justice, equality, and democracy as envisioned in Israel's Declaration of Independence. Our home, that home, was invaded last Shabbat in a manner that has caused several children of Holocaust survivors to pull me aside and privately whisper to me, "Rabbi, I am actually thankful that my parents have passed away and that they didn't live to see this. Because my parents, who were Holocaust survivors, if they had seen this, the news alone would have killed them." Now, I know that we live in a complex, nuanced, sophisticated world, but sometimes things are simple. Sometimes there is right and there is wrong. There is good, there is evil, there is light, there is darkness. And this week was one of those weeks where the morality is simple. The forces of wickedness, depravity, evil, darkness came into our homes, changed our world forever. Now, I know that the Jewish people in the state of Israel will persevere. We will overcome. We will survive, and we will be victorious against the Hamas terrorists. It has been so inspiring to receive countless calls from all of you and many, many more, asking what you can do, telling me what you've already done and will continue to do with all the means that we have at our disposal. We have advocated, we have donated, we have rallied, we have comforted one another, we have let our Israeli brothers and sisters know that we are with them every step of the way. Our community has never been stronger or more united, at least in my lifetime. And for that, I am heartened and I am hopeful. Just as this week, we start reading in the Torah, story all over again from the beginning, so too this is a kind of new beginning for Israel and for the Jewish people. God's first words, Vayihi Or, let there be light. And so too we will shine light on this world, the light of truth, the light of righteousness, the light of justice. But there's more from this week's Torah portion that gives me hope, and I hope that you will leave here tonight carrying the Torah's first two questions, because these questions will help us navigate this very challenging chapter in the history of the Jewish people. The first question is the first question that God asks of human beings. In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve are hiding, and God asks them a question that I believe the heavens continue to ask us every single day, and now that question is, Ayeka, where are you? It's a question that we must strive to answer for ourselves in the coming days, weeks, months. Ayeka, where are you? Are you standing with your Jewish brothers and sisters in solidarity and support? Are you fighting for righteousness and morality? Are you doing everything you can to make a difference in this struggle between light and darkness? The other day, I asked my wife if she thought maybe this might have been what it felt like to live during the Shoah, during the Holocaust. Now, she thought I meant if it was like living in Europe, but that wasn't what I meant. I was wondering if this was a little bit of what it felt like to be living here in America in the 1940s and to have some idea of what was going on, or maybe to really know what was going on, and to have that choice between helping by any means necessary or just going about our days as usual. Because we can do that. Ayeka, where are you? Now is not the time to be usual. The time to make a difference, to help, to give, to show solidarity, to build bridges of understanding with others who are not yet sympathetic to our predicament. But if Ayeka is the first question God asks humans, the first question that humans ask God in the same Torah portion is perhaps even more compelling. Happens after Cain murders his brother, and God calls Cain to account. So Cain flippantly and rhetorically responds to God with three powerful Hebrew words. Hashomer, Achi, Anochi. Cain says, am I my brother's keeper? Am I my brother's keeper? God doesn't answer. And I think God doesn't answer because the entire Torah and all of Jewish tradition is our answer. And that answer is a resounding yes. Yes, we are our brother's keepers. Cain thought he could do whatever he wanted with his autonomous self. The terrorists thought they could do whatever they wanted. But we know better about what it means to live in a civilized world. And that is to be responsible for one another. Hashomer Achi Anochi, yes, we are indeed our brothers and sisters' keepers. We are Jews. We have outlasted every enemy who has sought our destruction, who has tried to erase us from this earth. And we are on a mission from God to be a light unto the nations, to bring morality and civility and kindness and compassion to the world. This chapter of Jewish history may be a new chapter. And these future chapters may not resemble the chapters that we've been reading of late. But the story is the same. It's the story we tell every year on Passover night, when we recall how we were subjugated as slaves, but were ultimately redeemed. And that text from the Passover Haggadah is this: V'hi she'amda lavotenu v'lanu, shelo echad bilvad amad aleinu lachalotenu, ela shebachol dor vador omdim aleinu lachalotenu, v'hakadosh baruch hu matzilenu me'adam. This has stood for us, this promise for our ancestors and for us. For not just one enemy has stood against us to wipe us out, but in every generation there have been those who have stood against us to wipe us out. Yet the Holy One, blessed be God, keeps saving us from their hands. May God save us from the hands of this enemy, and may God give us strength. May we soon be blessed with peace. Amen. I asked Roger Rosenthal, who himself in addition to training our B'nai Mitzvah, served in the IDF not too many years ago to lead us in a melody for this verse that is printed inside your programs at the bottom of our prayer for the Israel Defense Forces and for the prayer of those held in captivity. V'hi she'amda. And this promise has stood for us throughout the generations.
ואיש שעמד על אבותינו, ואיש שעמדה לאבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו.
Join together with it.
ואיש שעמד על אבותינו, ואיש שעמדה לאבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עמד עלינו לכלותנו, עמד עלינו לכלותנו. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו מידם. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו מידם. יא אלי אלי ואיש שעמד על אבותינו, ואיש שעמדה לאבותינו ולנו, שלא אחד בלבד עומד עלינו לכלותנו, עומד עלינו לכלותנו. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו מידם. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, מצילנו מידם. שלא אחד בלבד עומד עלינו לכלותנו, לכלותנו. והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו, והקדוש ברוך הוא מצילנו מידם.